Okay, kit review time. Today we've got Eduard's Reeboks, the 135th. This is the M4A1 Sherman. Now, for you who don't know, this is actually a Reeboks of the Tusker kit. Now, Tusker kit is supposedly, allegedly, the best representation of the Sherman that's out there at the moment in 135th scale. So, as you can see on the box, very nice box art, as you can see, and Eduard's standard type of way of doing things. So, you've got your kit number, which is 3716, showing you some of the different markings you'll be able to get. A little bit of the bird. You see it's a Profi pack, which means you're going to get a few little extras in there. Top view of those same ones, and on the other side as well. So, actually, in the box, what do we get? Let me get there. Let's say I haven't even looked in this one yet. Let's pop that lid over there. As you can see, quite a good box, stuffed with various screws, rubber tracks and all the rest of it. But just to start with, we'll start on our usual way. We'll have a look, go through those in a moment. We'll have a look through the actual instructions themselves. So if we just pull this top cam out just a little bit. Okay. So obviously, usual thing with the Profi pack was quite nice with them. You get these lovely booklets with all the different markings, and usually very well explained as well. So as you can see, a little bit of blurb, the intro on the actual Sherman itself and all about it. Then we're looking down sprue trees, because the Sherman is such a widely done kit, shall we say, lots of different variants out there. So you're going to get a lot of this with parts not used because it's for different versions and extra sprues chucked in and things like that. Okay, so generally, as you see, you can see obviously what you're going to get down there. Nice bit of Photoetch. Working our way round, something a little bit different with these particular kits. You've got to put the hull together. It's not a one-piece hull. So starting off in there, getting the hull together, starting to add all the items straight away into the mix. All these little bits and pieces that are going on in there. Then working around the front end of it. So you're actually going in there and you've got different versions for different parts going on here by the looks of it, because this is for markings B and D and A and C. So you've got different versions that you're going to have to watch out for. Talking about bending Photoetch, using a ballpoint pen to make nice trenches and things like that in there, which we've covered in the past. Then working on the top part of the hull itself, putting all the details in. Obviously the A and B different types for the front turret, the front hull section for the drive. Okay, then we're into the hatches and lights. Some of these little parts you do need to take care of to remove. Okay, so it's showing those about removing them, and then obviously replacing them with the Photoetch that is given. Okay, so just keep an eye out for those things in red. A little bit of chain going on there, which is a nice touch, and then again removing the items from the spade to actually replace with Photoetch, and generally just going through all the areas as you make your way through. The same on a lot of the actual axes and things like that. One of the parts we don't like is vinyl tracks, if we're honest, so you might want to go for an upgrade from that. There's plenty of upgrades available, so you might want to get rid of those. You can get that natural sag there, and obviously something you don't get with the rubber ones. Okay, adding rivets, so there we go, that's a little touch down here. So actually putting the rivets onto the wheels, and then obviously we've got the drive sprockets, the gear itself for the road wheels. Different versions again for different markings, so just be careful how you're doing it. Just keep in mind what version you're doing and to go for. The same over here, exactly the same. The gun system going into the mantle and everything else as it goes through, and the coax gun. Alright, then you've actually got the 50 cal on the top. Again, it's specific for the C and D versions going in there. This is where with armour there's lots of optional extras you go for aftermarket stuff as well on this, so be mindful of that as well. Again, these side plates for the extra armour on the sides are obviously specific to A and C models. Okay, some nice Photoetch stuff going on over there. Again, more Photoetch parts going in. And then obviously these parts, which are all Photoetch, which are the side bumpers, something we spoke about on a recent live show. But again, very nice touch for those to go in. And that really is it. Once it's done, it doesn't show it completed. It's like, where you go, and you're done. So there we go, your markings. You've got the 66 armoured from June 44. Okay, and then you've got the 5th armoured with this more sort of sand camo over the top of it as well. All right, for those versions. And then you've got the C version down here, which is 3rd Battalion from Normandy as well. Beautifully done. Okay, so you have got, obviously there's the D ones, which is the 13th Armoured Division in Italy. All right, so there is a few different versions on there. Now, the kit itself, as we said, is the Tusker kit. So we'll just be a bit careful how we get these out the bags. Somehow, if we can get them out, that would be great. Staple bags. Okay, so if we just bring this top cam down in a little bit closer. So as you can see straight off the bat, one piece moulded upper hull, some very nice texture in there. It looks like it's what it is, which is actually moulded in, and then hopefully at different angles with the close-ups and things like that, hopefully you can see. Very nicely done, very nice moulding, no problems with that at all anywhere. Let's say it's just texture it's got actually does look like cast, as in real life it's actually been cast. And we've got the turret itself, again cast as well. It's just got those nice metal, you know, from the casting process. It's got those beautifully moulded into it, which gives you a very nice scale effect. So pretty good on that there. Right, okay, where are we going to work? In which bags? Let's say staple bags are always a bit of a pain to get into. Okay, so we've got a little crew figure here, as you can see on the sprue down there. So we've got opposable arms and obviously with the head and things like that. But generally a lot of these parts, as you can see, extremely crisply moulded. We've got no sign of flash. There's no release agent on this one at all. Generally all the ejector pins as well, very, very low flush with the plastic. They're not protruding or particularly overly sunk. They're all out of the way as well, so you've got no problem with that. Even these very small parts, as you can probably see down here, very crisply moulded, no problem at all, no flash, no edging on them whatsoever, so very nice. But all the details are extremely crisply moulded all the way through, and even these fenders with a riveting detail on the top, nice sharp crisp features. And the crewman himself, how we can see him there, he's got very nice features as well, again crisply moulded. Okay, so you've got lots of little bags in here with all your different bits and pieces. Okay, so this is going to be one of the different fronts. I assume we might get two of these because we know it's got two different fronts, but we've got the main gun down here. Obviously it's a two-piece mould, a little bit tricky, going to take a little bit of clean up, but again very nice work on this front mantle type looking, because we've even got the number cast into it, some nice detail with the bolts and the screws and everything around it, and the casting itself very, very nice. Again, extremely sharp all the way throughout, even like the top of the bottom section of the aerial, very nicely moulded, no real edge to it in the cast, no flash to it whatsoever. Very, very nice. So it's the first time I've actually had a look at one of these kits. Have to say, very impressed. Okay, here's the other one. So obviously this is where you've got two versions of this in here, hence you get two of these. So you've got different guns, mantles and things like that. So just be mindful what you're doing with these. Again, this one exactly the same, very nicely done. All of these, even down to this, which obviously I presume would be done in Photoetch, I might be replaced. Very nicely done, even in plastic, very thin, very crisp, very sharp. You've got the little rivet marks all running through them and everything else like that. So that's a really nice kit. Okay, and another front end. So we're saying, this is what we're saying about this one. You've got all your different front ends and everything else. It's almost getting two kits in one. Okay, so again, the casting on the front here is absolutely exquisite, very, very nice, and it's all got the cast numbering system in there. You've got the guns as well for the coaxial guns and the front guns. Very nicely done. These are these spades where we'll be taking off those edgings and things like that. Again, no sign of flash, anything else. Very, very nice. I have to say, from a kit point of view, it's absolutely fantastic. Beautifully done. I'm loving all these bolts, the way it's got the actual bolts moulded into them. They are actually, you run your finger over it, it's sharp. They are that good. Very, very crisply moulded. Very, very nice. We do like that. That's fantastic. Again, the hatching, the detail that goes in there with casting of the numbers, just the casting in general on these, absolutely beautifully done, as you can see, all the way around, even for this turret. Very nice. Okay, so this will be your lower hull, as I say, not the normal way you expect to see it. Okay. But as you can see, we've got the bottom section here. Again, catching it in the light, you can see all this gorgeous bolting detail, which is very sharp, very crisp. And we've got the sides. Again, extremely nice. No problem with any of this. This side, again, nicely done. It's got a nice texture to it. It's almost like brushed aluminium effect in plastic. Very, very nice to give it that sort of texture. Very nice indeed. As you can see, I'm quite a fan of this kit. I'm actually quite disappointed it's not for me. This is actually a prize for our D-Day group build. So congratulations, because it is a fantastic kit. Okay, looking down at the road wheels now, as you can see, beautifully done, cleanly, crisply molded. Again, even the gear, the suspension, the arms, everything else like that, very nicely done. No problem with any of this at all. As you can see, even the ejector pins are all nicely around. Nice little touches we've got. Left and right molded into the parts themselves, and some of them have got little numbers on them as well, just showing where they're going to go, just to make things easier for the modeler and everything else. And even these springs, as you can see, very nicely molded in. We do like those. Very, very good. Okay, so in here we've got the drive. Okay, we've got two of these, so we're just going to have a look at one. Again, very sharp, very nicely done. Loving the bolting detail, because the bolts aren't just like hexagons stuck on. You've actually got thread coming through as well, which is a beautiful little touch on these. You can probably see it just down there, you catch it in the light. Very nicely done. And again, all very sharp. I haven't seen a single bit of flash on any of this yet, which is the amazing thing. Okay, down here we've got the clear parts, which is not a lot of point looking at these. Got a little bit of material there which will also be used, and we've got weirdo looking polycaps, which are obviously different types there. These are like little donuts, little washers. Okay, so we've got those. Okay, these little guys here. Get in. So we've got down here. Oh, it's a joint pair just mirrored backwards. Again, beautifully molded, nicely done. Even the seat cushion's got texture put into it. Looks like it's worn off the bat. Some spare track down there, the cleats, the bolts, everything else. The headlamp covers, again, looking very fragile being like that, but they obviously survived so far. Okay, and everything else, got the periscopes and in and on the back side, as you can see, all very nicely molded in. Very, very smartly done, very clean, very crisp way of doing it all. Okay, and the last bits here we got, I won't bother getting these out, we've got a little bit of stowage. This is for the stowage cans, for the tops of the jerry cans, basically in there like that, which is quite a nice touch. And the same for the gun, exactly the same thing. It's for making up the 50 cal, some ammo boxes, some ammo belts, things like that. Okay, the track, as you can see, unfortunately it is vinyl. Probably be the upgrade you're going to go for. That said, they look to be okay. Got some little mouldings in these as you go along. You can see where it's come out of the mould. But apart from that, they're not bad. You could probably get away with it. It's just trying to get that natural sag to them, which can be a little bit of a headache. Decals, Eduard standard type of decals. You can see very clean, very crisply done. No problem with any of these at all. You know, the carrier film area isn't massive. It's basically down onto them, maybe a little bit on the stars. But apart from that, obviously the numbering is to the letter. Very nicely done. And we got one sheet of Photoetch. So as you can see, we've got these side fenders and obviously the front ones and everything else going to be bent in, the side plates, lots of different bits and pieces, some grilling, which is a nice touch. These little tiny things, I'm not sure what they are. Okay, and working all the way around. So as you can see, very nicely done, which is what Eduard have putting in. Basically, it's the standard sort of Tusker kit, apart from you've got Eduard's decals and an Eduard Photoetch sheet, which is the way to it. So there we go, that is apparently the best Sherman you can get, and I must admit, looking at the kit, looking at the mould, I have to agree.